Hi Libra, welcome to your November 2019 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot to me. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you haven't got yours yet, spaces are limited. Make sure you get your seat at the Winter Solstice Alignment Activation Session. There are still spaces left, but they are limited to just 100. So if you want to be a part of that, you want to get yourself set up and ready for 2020 like never before, because we know it's going to be an interesting year. Get your seat. You can do so on the link in the description box below. I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So when I went into my meditation and intuition this month, the word that I got for you, what I could actually see was a sword. And what I understood about this sword was that it was Excalibur. For those of you that don't know, are you living under a rock? No, Excalibur was the sword in the stone. And it was basically said that only a person of the right blood who was effectively moral, right? It's about somebody being in true, pure of heart, pure of integrity. And that's what I'm saying to you. You are Libra, and you need to remember that. This month, it feels to me like you might have a situation arise where you will be given a specific path, a specific option. It's almost like you will have a choice to make. You know, you're a Libra, decisions, shocking. I know that, you know, and I don't want to be blasé about it, but that's the feeling that I get. It's almost like there's going to be something that happens this month that will force you to make a decision. And I want you to remember that you are a person of integrity. Libras have a very pure heart. It's one of the reasons they're so good at mediating, because they can take their personal judgments out of it and say, all right, you know what, let's just look at the facts here and see things exactly as they are. That's a skill and a trait that not everybody has. And it's one that you probably have spent your lifetime cultivating and probably having to use, and maybe in some really difficult situations in your life. So what I'm saying to you is this month, remember that the reason King Arthur was given Excalibur was because he was pure of heart. He was given Excalibur because, not just because he was of royal blood, but because he was pure of heart. He was truly a person that came from his heart space, and because his intent was completely pure, he was given the sword. In fact, when Merlin placed the sword into the stone, he said, hold it until a good man comes to claim it. And the stone replied, then I will be holding it forever. Lo and behold, Arthur is born, and bam, he comes forward to claim it because he had a purity about who he is. You are being given Excalibur this month, right? The sword that everybody else wants, that thing that everybody seems to covet, will be handed to you this month. Use it wisely. So, your actions and interactions with the world at large. What are you doing this month? What are your, you know, what is your road or your path saying? And this month you got the Three of Swords, right? So you really are walking away from something. I mean, look at that, Three of Swords, Excalibur. Right, I shuffled them right in front of you. Look at this, and the Three of Swords is actually about separation. It's about knowing when to let something go, when to cut something off. Maybe it's a someone. This is about knowing when to walk away. And the thing about the Three of Swords, it's never an easy decision. It's always one that we feel keenly in the heart space, but we know consciously deep down that it is the right way to go, that this is the right thing to do. And this is why I say to you, you may be faced with a situation or a decision this month that it's almost like, oh shit, you know what, this is going to hurt. It's not just going to hurt the other person, but it's also going to hurt me. But you know it's the right decision to make. Follow your heart. Listen to that purity of intent that you have been blessed with, Libra, because it will serve you so much better. And this is one, in fact, this is going to be one of those moments, yeah, because I'm seeing the infinity symbol. This is going to be one of those moments, you know, they say there's no such, it's not all karma is bad. You can get good karma as well. And they say in the traditions that believe in karma, they say that the best karma to have is none, because then that way you don't have to keep coming back on the wheel of life, right? You transcend it and you go off into pure bliss of the universe, right? So this is going to be one of those moments where your actions and interactions suggest that this month on your path, you will have a moment that can either cancel out some of your heavier, challenging karma or top up your good karma, right? And you'll know the decision to make because you'll feel it, and you will actually say to yourself, wow, you know what? I'm feeling this, you know, it's not just about the doing the right thing by other people. Like, I feel that this is the right thing to do, and even though it may hurt them or it might seem a certain way, it hurts me as well. You will really feel this. Your money and materials this month, you've got the King of Pentacles. Money looks good. Finances look good for a lot of signs this month, which I'm finding really interesting because Mercury is doing his thing, right, in his retrograde. So interesting times. If you haven't got your copy yet, make sure you check out the retrograde survival kit. Shameless advertising, I know. But yeah, you've got the King of Pentacles in your money and materials. Your home is definitely going to be your sanctuary this month, right? And it's going to be really important that you don't allow anyone or anything in your space this month, because you are going to be a bit vulnerable this month because of this big decision or this big choice that needs to be made. You are going to feel vulnerable. So it's really important that your home is the place that you can be safe to voice your opinion, to show your hurts, to show your vulnerability, all of that. Your home should be your sanctuary anyway, but for you that takes on a very literal sense this month. In terms of your money though, in terms of your finances, the King of Pentacles is the highest expression of the suit of Pentacles, right? Your money and materials is your earth sector. This bodes very well for your finances. It may well be, for some of you, the difficult decision that you could be making is to cut somebody off financially. You may be saying to a partner, a parent, a loved one, a child, you know, one of your kids, like who maybe is a child but not a child, do you know what I mean? You could be cutting somebody off financially this month and saying to them, look, you know what? I've supported you long enough. I've done enough for you. And as much as this hurts me to have to withdraw my finances, this is where I have to draw the line. And you will know that it's the right thing to do because you will feel it, right? And sometimes the thing about that as well, sometimes the thing about giving other people the space to own their own lessons means that they actually learn it. As an example, if you're constantly bailed out of trouble when it comes to finances, you never really learn the lesson because you've never really been stung. You can just kind of keep doing it because you kind of get this sense that somebody's always going to foot the bill. This month you could really be stamping that out for somebody. On a personal level, if you own a business, money looks good. If you work for another company, finances look good. The other thing as well as this is, for some of you, you could see somebody going out the door. You could see somebody losing a job, being fired or whatever. And, you know, this brings into question, like, you know, your morality kind of kicks up and says, oh, can I really take this person's job now that they've been fired? If you've actively had a hand in booting them out the door, that's probably a bit of a grey area. But if you haven't, you're being given the Excalibur. You're the right person for the job. So don't feel guilty. If somebody is pushed out this month and you are given the position that they used to occupy, know that you are the right person for it. Your communications with the world at large, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. This is about you doing the work. I mean, I kind of feel like you're going to put your blinkers on this month though. It's almost like you're just going to put your blinkers on and throw yourself into work. And there's nothing wrong with that because it makes you determined. It helps you see things through. It's almost like you're saying to people, if you've been in a team where you've had, especially for those of you that work for another company, if you've been in a team and the team has had a difficult patch or gone through a lot of it, everybody's going to kind of be looking to you this month, right? They're going to be looking to you to kind of see them through the next bit of like, okay, so where do we go from here? You're going to have to be the strong one. And the Knight of Pentacles basically says you have the longevity to get everybody across the finish line. It really is up to you this month. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's a bit challenging. It's almost like you're leader by default. In the long term, this could very well be that because you were the person that took the helm when the ship looked like it was aimless, you end up sort of assuming that position. But like I said, whatever you're given this month, it really feels like you're the right person for it. Okay, in terms of communications as well, the Knight of Pentacles, it sees you very focused on work, very focused on work, very focused on profession. You could be, again, you could be having to, it's almost like this month as well, you're saying to yourself, I'm determined to have the conversation, no matter how difficult it is, because you've got that Three of Swords there, but this is conscious. It's not something that's happening around you and then you have to respond. Like, you are making a point of, I have to have these conversations, and you've got the determination and the skill to see it through. And then you get, for your relationships, you've got the Harvest card, right, which is 20, which is the Judgment card, right? So there's definitely a blast from the past coming back for some of you. This could be in, you know, it could be that somebody at work who has, for those of you that are single, there might be somebody at your work or at your school even, you know, if you're a student in any way, shape or form. This person could literally have been, you know, banging and banging away at your walls, like, please, come on, just give me a chance, give me a shot. There's something that's been, something about you has been quite resistant to them. But this Harvest card kind of suggests that this is the month where you're going to say, look, you know what? All right, fine. Let's go for a drink. Let's go for coffee. Let's go for dinner. Like, you've been asking and asking and asking. I kept saying no. But you know what? Let's go for it. Let's see, right? Let's see if there is actually something here. One thing that you are probably silently impressed with is their determination. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, like, actually, you know what? They must like me because I've turned them down enough times. For those of you that are partnered, this looks lovely, and it really suggests that you guys are saying to yourself, right, I'm going to dedicate time for us to get back to it. It's like you want to rekindle the honeymoon period, you know, like if you, especially for those of you that have been in a relationship for a long time, it's like you're saying, you know what, this month we need to dedicate more time to making the relationship fresh. For others of you, because you've got the Three of Swords there, I do have to say this could be the month where you make that final decision. This could be the month where you say to yourself, right, it's either make or break, and it's here and now that we have to make the decision. For some of you, you've already made that decision, but for the most part, it looks like you're looking to rekindle the relationship, but there are a few of you that are about to have that tough conversation, and it's almost like you're resolute about it. So, okay. First card out, you've got the Wheel of Fortune right underneath the Three of Swords. This is basically saying you know that it's the time, right? And there's going to be an event that takes place in this first week of the month where you basically say to yourself, right, now is the time to have this conversation. Although you're doing it consciously, it will be in, you know, and I said that it wasn't in response to a big event. It might be something that transpires and you say to yourself, right, okay, the reason this is happening is because it's the right time to have this conversation. The conversation will go well. The Wheel of Fortune always gives you the best, most opportune moment to speak your truth, or to experience what you experience. The Hermit card right underneath the King of Pentacles. There's definitely something going on in your work, and it could be it could be an involuntary promotion. You could be assuming responsibility or a role of some sort that you didn't expect to have. The Hermit card represents the sign of Virgo, right, which is ruled by the 6th house. Work, everyday routines, our habits, the things that we do. Hermit card and representing Virgo right underneath the King of Pentacles. This is, you know, somebody in authority. This is a position of power. It suggests that your finances this month, Hermit card, looking at, scrutinizing, doing the work, doing the analysis. You could really be saying to somebody this, you know, especially this second and third week, I feel, the first and second week, you could really be having those conversations of, you know what, it's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet now. Third week of the month, you've got the Moon card right underneath the Knight of Pentacles. You know, my advice to you is this: don't bottle your feelings up. When they come up this month, especially here in the third week of the month, when we move out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius season, don't be afraid to speak up on how you actually feel. Don't be afraid to talk about what it is that you're actually experiencing on a personal level, because you're going to be doing this whole thing of work hard, stay focused, you know, do the work, be here, be present, all the rest of it, which is great. But at the same time, if something pops up in the emotion sector and you feel it, allow yourself to express it. Your communication says that you're communicating effectively, you're helping get everybody across the line. If other people start talking about their feelings and you feel something, do not dampen it down. Allow yourself to feel it, allow yourself to express it, because by doing so, you show people that not only are you the person to wield Excalibur, you're not just the ruler, but you're also the sort of person that is relatable, that you're human, that you understand where they might all be at. I definitely feel like a lot of you are leading a group of people through a very challenging time, and I kind of feel like this is going to be almost thrust upon you and you're like, oh crap, okay, well this is slightly uncomfortable because I didn't expect myself to be here. But it's you've been chosen for a reason, so now you need to step up to the plate. Your fourth week of the month, you've got the Tree of Life. There are no accidents here. Right, whatever transpires this month is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. The Tree of Life card always represents the hand of the divine working in your life. It means that the creative spirit of life is working in your life. It suggests, for those of you that are single, this person that has been literally banging your door down for a chance or a shot is definitely worth giving. Even if you only take away from it a friendship or an amazing conversation or, you know, an amazing experience, and it doesn't become more than that, there is still something to be gained. For those of you that are partnered, this is about you and your partner. For a select few of you, like I said, you're making that decision. This is it. It's time to move on. For the rest of you, for the bulk of you, I really feel like this is you getting back to where it used to be. You know, like, and interestingly enough, I could go into that, but I don't have time here. Maybe another day. Or if somebody wants to ask me in the comments, I will go into it there. But to cut a long story short, this Tree of Life is actually the Kabbalah tree. That number 1 there that you see is God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And 10 here is us here on Earth, right? And the theory goes that 1 descends into 10 to know itself, and the 10 is always seeking to get back to 1, to go back to its source, to the heavens, right? So interestingly enough, that really mirrors the first message that came through, that you and your partner are seeking to get your relationship back to where it used to be. All right, so finally, your key to the, oh gosh, they're all flying out. Your key to the month is the Ace of Cups. This is beautiful, right? There is love, there is healing, there's beauty, there's expression, there's acceptance here, right? There's so many blessings that are waiting to make their way into your life. For those of you that are into pagan lore and craft and all the rest of it, what's absolutely beautiful here is, look at this. You've got Excalibur, which is the sword, and then you've got the chalice there. The chalice and the sword represent masculine and feminine energies. As you know, this is about you doing what Libra does best, finding that balance. Just be sure to be present this month. It looks like it can be a really great month for you, even with the responsibility that is thrust on your shoulders. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care. I'll see you soon.